narrative poem by Alfred Noyes, first published in 1906 in Edinburgh, Scotland. The poem, set in 18th century rural England, tells the story of an unnamed highwayman in love with the beautiful lass Bess. The term highwayman refers to a robber who stole from travelers. There's a long history of treating highway robbers as heroes. Originally, they were admired by many as bold men who confronted their victims face to face and were ready to fight for what they wanted. The most famous English robber hero is the legendary medieval outlaw Robin Hood. In that tradition, the highwayman and his love, Bess, are romantic and tragic hero and heroine, respectively. In 1995, the poem was voted 15th in the BBC's poll for the nation's favorite poems. I hope you enjoy this recitation of The Highwayman. Jennifer Sue, The Highwayman, Jennifer Sue.
The wind was a torrent of darkness among the gusty trees. The moon was a ghostly galleon tossed upon cloudy seas. The road was a ribbon of moonlight looping the purple moor. As the highwayman came riding, as the highwayman came riding up to the old inn door. He'd a French cocked hat at his forehead, a bunch of lace at the chin, a coat of the claret velvet, and breeches of fine doe skin. They fitted with never a wrinkle. His boots were up to the thigh. He rode with a jeweled twinkle, his pistol butts a twinkle, his rapier hilt a twinkle, under the jeweled sky. Over the cobbles he clattered and clashed in the darkening yard, and he tapped with his whip on the shutters, but all was locked and barred. Then he whistled a tune to the window, and who should be waiting there but Bess, the landlord's daughter, the landlord's black-eyed daughter, plaiting a dark red love knot into her long black hair. Dark in the dark old inn yard, a stable wicket creaked, where Tim the ostler listened. His face was white and peaked. His eyes were hollows of madness, his hair like moldy hay. But he loved the landlord's daughter, Bess the landlord's daughter. Dumb as a dog he listened, and he heard the robber say, "One kiss, my bonny sweetheart, for I'm after a prize tonight. Yet I shall be back with the yellow gold before the morning light. Yet if they press me sharply and harry me through the day, look for me by moonlight, watch for me by moonlight. I'll come to thee by moonlight, though hell should bar the way." He rose upright in the stirrups. He scarce could reach her hand. She loosened her hair in the casement. His face burnt like a brand. As the black cascades of perfume came tumbling over his breast, he kissed the waves in the moonlight, oh sweet black waves in the moonlight, and he tugged on his reins in the moonlight and galloped away to the west. He did not come at dawn, he did not come at noon, and out of the tawny sunset, before the rise of the moon, when the road was a gypsy's ribbon, looping the purple moor, the redcoat troops came marching, marching, marching. King George's men came marching up to the old inn door. They said not a word to the landlord. They drank his ale instead, gagged his daughter and bound her to the foot of her narrow bed. Two of them knelt at her casement with muskets at their side. There was death at every window and hell at one dark window, for Bess could see through the casement the road that he would ride. They tied her up to attention with many a sniggering jest. They bound a musket beside her with a barrel beneath her breast. "Now keep good watch," and they kissed her. She heard the dead man say, "Look for me by moonlight, watch for me by moonlight. I'll come to thee by moonlight, though hell should bar the way." She twisted her hands behind her, but all the knots held good. She writhed their hands till her fingers were wet with sweat or blood. They stretched and strained in the darkness, and the hours crept by like years, till on the stroke of midnight, cold on the stroke of midnight, the tip of one finger touched it. The trigger, at least, was hers. The tip of one finger touched it. She strove not for the rest. Up she stood at attention, with a barrel beneath her breast. She would not risk their hearing. She would not strive again. For the road lay bare in the moonlight, blank and bare in the moonlight, and the blood in her veins in the moonlight throbbed to Hillel's refrain. Plot, 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 plot. Had they heard it? Horse hooves ringing clear? Plot, 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 plot in the distance? Were they deaf they did not hear? Down the ribbon of moonlight, over the purple moor, the highwayman came riding, riding, riding. The redcoats looked to their priming. She stood up straight and still. Plot, 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 plot in the frosty silence. Plot, 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 plot in the echoing night. Nearer he came, nearer. Her face was like a light. Her eyes grew wide for a moment. She drew one last deep breath. Then her finger moved in the moonlight. Her musket shattered the moonlight, shattered her breast in the moonlight, and warned him of her death. Back he spurred to the west. He did not know who stood, bowed with her head over the casement, drenched in her own red blood. Not till the dawn did he hear it, and his face grew gray to hear how Betsy, the landlord's daughter, the landlord's black-eyed daughter, had waited for her love in the moonlight and died in the darkness there. Back he spurred like a madman, shrieking a curse to the sky, with the white road smoking behind him, his rapier brandished high. Blood red were his spurs in the golden noon, wine red was his velvet coat, when they shot him down on the highway, down like a dog on the highway, and he lay in his blood on the highway, with a bunch of lace at his throat. And still, of a winter's night, they say, when the wind is in the trees, when the moon is a ghostly galleon, tossed upon cloudy seas, when the road is a ribbon of moonlight, looping the purple moor, a highwayman comes riding, riding, riding. A highwayman comes riding up to the old inn door. Over the cobbles he clatters and clangs in the darkened yard, and he taps with his whip on the shutters, but all is locked and barred. Then he whistles a tune to the window, and who should be waiting there but Bess, the landlord's daughter, the landlord's black-eyed daughter, plaiting a dark red left knot into her long black hair.